lunch, Prisma apparently got a phone call, and she politely left the table and took the call outside. This apparently made this ex-boyfriend really angry and jealous. And after a brief disagreement, he left her there. Now, she had driven herself there, so really not a big deal, right? You think, okay, she's gonna finish her lunch, and then she's gonna go back to work. But here's where it gets a little strange. Prisma did not go back to work. In fact, she remained at the restaurant for about 3 hours, drinking pretty heavily. In fact, she drank so much that the bartender stopped serving her, and there was actually like a slight disturbance in that regard. I guess she got upset, like any inebriated person does when they get cut off. So after this brief disagreement, they understandably ask her to leave, and she does, getting into her Jeep and driving away. Surveillance footage shows Prisma's Jeep Wrangler pulling out of the E-Bar parking lot and going right onto Haskell. From there, detectives tracked her phone driving south down Haskell Avenue. And then, near Haskell Avenue and Main Street, Prisma was involved in a road rage incident with another car. They really believe this was her, but there's no video footage, but it sounds like it could have been her. A Dallas police report says 3 witnesses in another vehicle said a woman pointed a gun at them at the 100 block of North Haskell just after 5 p.m. And one of those witnesses said that it was a woman driving a white Jeep, which Prisma drove. But the woman was gone before Dallas police officers could get there. Prisma did have a gun, and it was found in her Jeep later on. Investigators believe that Prisma continued driving to I-30, and then she turned back around and ended up at the Olympus at Ross apartments. She pulls up to this apartment complex, and from the video footage I saw, she kind of parks this Jeep blocking sort of an intersection, like she parks it sort of right on the edge of the corner of the curb, but it's sticking out into the street. Now, maybe she did this because she was inebriated, or maybe she did this because she thought, oh, I won't be here very long. So she's right outside the apartment gate, which is why she's caught on surveillance. And she runs across the street as a car is coming in, and she goes through the gate and stops. Now there's an elevator right there to the side of her, and some of this is caught on surveillance. She's standing outside the elevator, and she's on the phone, and she kind of is looking upset and looking very disturbed. She gets onto the elevator with another person. This other person was talked to. He got off before she did, so he didn't know where she got off, but he did say that she was crying. Now, this is where it gets extra strange. Between 5:49 and 6:01 p.m., Prisma made 9 calls on her cell phone. The second to last call was 3 minutes long. She called the ex-boyfriend 4 times before that call and once after. So there were a total of 4 phone calls that lasted out-of-state friend. Prisma was upset. She said she needed help. She was confused. She didn't feel right. Something wasn't right. But this person was cleared and they were out of state, so they couldn't get to her even if they wanted to. This is the call that she was on during the surveillance footage and slightly in the elevator. 9 calls between 5:49 and 6:01 indicates to me she was pretty distressed about something, or she really, really needed to get a hold of someone. Her babysitter, Maria, calls the police after Prisma does not show up to pick up her baby. She said her child is the most important thing in her life, and that she spoke to Prisma earlier that day. She had told her that she was on her lunch break and that everything was going fine. They talked at 3 or 4, Maria says. She can't remember. And they were just talking about her new job and how everything was going. Maria said there was nothing odd about this phone conversation, and Prisma told her she'd be back, to pick up her 6-year-old son at the usual time of 7:40 p.m. And then she never came. Maria texted her, but Prisma did not respond, and Maria found that so strange. Here's the thing. When she called the babysitter earlier that day, they spoke on the phone for like an hour. This is pretty weird to me, as, Prisma's family said she didn't really talk to the babysitter that much. Like, they weren't friends, she was just the babysitter. And, if she's so upset that she's not going back to work, didn't the babysitter think, hey, why am I babysitting your child? You're sitting at a bar getting drunk. I don't know. That seems, again, quite a bit strange to me. Either way, at 9:30, Maria calls 911. Dallas police officers find Prisma's Jeep abandoned at the intersection of Roseland Avenue. Surveillance videos place her at the nearby apartment complex around 5:50 p.m. Police confirm that Prisma's ex-boyfriend, the one with whom she had lunch and was possibly rekindling, lived in this apartment building where her Jeep was found, but that he was not home at the time that she showed up there. Here's the twist. Prisma was never seen leaving this building. In fact, she's never been seen again. Police said that not all of the exits have cameras, and it's very challenging. One minute she's there, and the next minute she's gone, and unfortunately, they have not gotten a lot of leads in this case. Now remember, somebody got on this elevator with her, saw her crying, but didn't see where she got off. Now, her father says, yeah, she got off on the 5th floor, but here's another thing that I really didn't find mentioned very much. In fact, I only saw it in 2 places. Another witness said that they saw Prisma on the top floor of the parking garage of the apartment building, on the ground, crying, next to a car, a silver car with the trunk open. This person, of course, was like, hey, are you okay? And Prisma said, I'm fine, and leave her alone. Apparently, this is around the time that Prisma's phone died. Now, Prisma's stepdad, a man named Dan, has been in her life since she was 5 years old, so he knows the 26-year-old very well. He watched the surveillance footage, and he says that she looks absolutely distraught in this video, and I agree. And he believes that she's also a paralegal, and she was also in the National Guard. Her family says she adores her 6-year-old son, and she would never, ever leave him behind voluntarily. Detectives are really hoping that the public can help them with any information to find Prisma. Somebody saw something. Somebody saw someone with her. Somebody knows something. And we just need them to reach out and talk to us. These types of cases are extremely challenging, and they're also very rewarding when you find the person. It's ultimately, with this particular case, my ultimate goal is to get an answer for this family. There is a reward being offered for Prisma, and I will leave the link to the phone number down in the description box down below. But I found this case so weird, and I know it's a shorter case and probably not what you guys are looking for. I've noticed my shorter videos don't get a lot of views, but I felt like this one really needed to be told. Like, where did she go? I don't understand. Really, I think that the ex had something to do with it. I don't know if she went there and he wasn't there, but maybe she had a key. Maybe she sat outside his apartment is the word I'm looking for. And he let her in. They got into a fight, continuing the fight from earlier, and he, bonked her head off a wall and she accidentally died, or he killed her on purpose. I am reminded of the case that Letty from the Mystery Theory did, and oh my gosh, I can't remember. But the one where the guy carried the girl out in the golf bag or big duffel bag, or put her in the trash chute. Oh, the cases blend in my mind. Either way, I think that those are both pretty distinct possibilities in this case, if the cameras never caught her leaving. The only thing I can think, yes, there wasn't a camera at the parking garage exit, and she was seen in the parking garage, but why wouldn't she go back for her car? And let's just say, and I don't know, because I wasn't there, she's drunk, she's irrational, she wants to argue with this dude some more, she wants to prove a point, she's got to go up there, she's got to talk to him, she calls him so many times. She didn't take the gun. And then I would really like to know what she said to this friend in that short phone call before she gets on the elevator, as she gets on the elevator. She's upset, she needs help. Okay, what's going on? Did the friend ask that? I know this person was cleared, but are there any more? I'm sure that the police are not revealing details because that's what they do to see if they can kind of trap someone by knowing something they shouldn't. But man, there is just not a lot to go on in this case. It's always absolutely strange for me when people just disappear, but this girl literally just disappeared into thin air. I have a really hard time ever believing that a mom would leave their child behind to just run off and start a new life, which is of course everyone's explanation when cases like this happen. Oh, she was unhappy. Oh, she went to somewhere to start a new life. Okay, fine. She's probably gonna take her baby with her. I don't know. She seemed to be doing pretty well in her current life. I couldn't really find much for her to be upset about, or, obviously I don't know her. I wasn't reading her diary or anything, but she had this new job. She was rekindling with the boyfriend. Yes, they had a disagreement, but gosh, I disagree with Sean every day, so